a reason why I was not afraid. Well, there were several reasons why I was not afraid to take my wife's name when we got married.
But Carver is such a cool last name, man.
Oh yeah, like it is, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, it's fair because we both share the name now, so we both have the double barrel name, and also it makes me not Paul Smith anymore.
Right. You're not just Paul Smith, you're more.
Yes, exactly. My wife has turned me into more than the sum of my parts.
That's right. She was saying she's Frankenstein.
Yes, she is Frankenstein and I am her monster.
Yep.
That would be a good show title.
That's right. Okay.
Can't wait to see the Outcast show notes. Names.
Sometimes you don't want to spoil everything in the show notes.
True. Definitely do not make any notes, and a reminder again about the ODNF outtakes to put in there, because that's some dumb fucking shit.
It has already been snipped and put in the right folder. So ready
I think
to
Dwight
go.
makes an appearance too, so you probably hear him going meow in the background too.
Love me.
Anytime there's outtakes from ODNF, 90% of the time it's one of the cats is involved, and it's just like,
right,
come on, dudes, just
wandering on in. Okay, looks like we're live on everywhere. Hello, people of the internet.
If my mixed screens could keep it to themselves this week, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, just everybody, let's be cool. We're here for a cool, chill time.
Damn right.
Twitch rates my stream health as excellent. Thank you. So proud.
Okay.
I've such a bad headache. Like, I just surprised I'm upright at this point.
I was about to say, like, I feel weird, and then I realized it's because I'm not wearing my watch because it's on charge downstairs. So I was like, why does my arm feel weird? It's because I'm not wearing my bloody watch. And also, I'm not getting notifications about all of the BS going on in different things. I don't need 17 Twitter notifications right now. Thank you very much.
Okay. I think I've got all my what you've been playing.
I think I have mine.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to talk about this week because it's a busy week. Let me check one more thing here before we start.
I had a focus fire this week because I didn't play anything until Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know what it's been the last couple of weeks, but every time I turn around, there's something happening.
Yup.
I just want to sit down and play a game and not have to deal with anything.
Everyone stop treating me like an adult for like 10 minutes.
Oh, random additional side note before we actually get into the show. My wife went to the chiropractor for the first time ever last week. I think it was one of the days this week. She was she's sore, but also she's anemic, so she bruises like a peach.
Oh.
When she was done with the chiropractor, they used, as she described it, a metal boomerang on her back.
Great.
And she looked like I'd taken a belt and beat the ever-loving shit out of her. And she was like, I was tempted to send this to my mother, but I decided not to. I was like, yeah.
Please no pictures at all.
Yeah,
Yes.
like no.
like I've never been to a chiropractor, but I'm lucky in the fact that my problems are in my knees, my hips, and my wrists and my fingers, not in my back. So I'm kind of okay on that front. But my God, that was horrifying.
Just looking at him and be like, what'd they do to you?
I was gonna say, my wife, when we used to work at a retail store many years ago, she slipped and fell on some ice, and she slipped one of her discs, and she had to start going to a chiropractor then. And she said that the first time that she ever went was the worst pain she had ever felt.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, though, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't ever want to have to go to one.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm terrified enough of doctors as it is. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I got no problem with doctors. I just don't want them, like, cracking my bones.
No, dude,
That's where all my marrow is. I gotta keep that stuff.
I hate all medical institutions with a passion.
Yeah.
Like, with a huge passion. It's like, yeah, my hip pops when I walk, but I ain't got to see nobody for it.
It hasn't popped out. It's fine.
I already have seen somebody for that. Guess what? I have arthritis. Yay!
Ta-da!
Yay!
Yeah. All right. Well, are you guys ready to start the show?
Yeah, might as well.
While we're here.
Let's get that enthusiasm up.
Yeah, that's right.
Whoop.
Yeah!
Although, I did kind of kill everybody at work. Not literally, for the record, anybody listening. Because someone was on the phone with the customer, and then when they hung up the phone, they're like, God, they sound like they're so depressed. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's like, yeah, I know what my voice sounds like. Like, right. I know I have a very monotone and very... Oh, I guess we're going to do this today.
You got a real Eeyore voice.
Yes. And literally everyone just stopped what they were doing and died laughing. I was like, it wasn't that funny, folks. Like, I know. I'm sorry.
One of those anxiety things where it's like, oh my God, you've been thinking about this the whole time? Oh no.
Well, yeah, I always think about everything, dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find I have a monotone voice just so that I don't say what I'm thinking.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Because that'll get me in trouble.
100%.
Yes, all right. Ready?
Yep.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpier.
Hello.
And the Nymph.
Hello.
It's a brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks out right now. Both for patrons and for the public feed. If you're in the public feed, I think it's
I know what it is.
Third Encounters, something Encounters of the Third Kind, 30th Encounters of the 50th Kind, that fantastic sci-fi classic.
That's the one.
Yep. That's available on the public feed and the patron feed, patreon.com/E1M1 is the Lost Boys. So go sign up for $5 a month or more to get 3-month early access to Old Dog New Flicks. It's a great show, and Patreon is a great value. I think it's great. Help fund this show because my job doesn't pay me anything, and hosting is very expensive. So,
what do you mean your little one doesn't give you money at the end of the day?
No, gotta wish.
It's all about the feels.
Yes, very much so. That's why I didn't get to play a lot of games this week. And speaking of, Moonpier, what have you been playing this past week?
Okay, well, apparently I'm gonna pull up my socks and hoist this show onto my own back and carry it into the future.
We could have a show that's not 2.5 hours. Also,
we could, which is why I'm only going to talk very briefly about a lot of these games.
Okay.
Mostly because you don't need to write these down because this is just a Moonpier's hard drive is full update. For those of you who missed my Twitter notifications on Sunday, Doom got my final 1K on that game.
Nice.
Thank you. Retail 1K got. I ain't playing multiplayer the amount that they want me to do the DLC.
No.
Forza Horizon 3, I'd already gotten the retail 1000 on it, but I don't see myself ever going back to it uninstalled.
Yeah. And those ones are big.
Yeah, that's like 60 gigs, something like that.
Yeah.
Gears of War 4, uninstalled.
Okay, fair enough. Didn't make the cut.
115 gigabyte of space returned back to my library. Thank you very much. Yes.
That's right.
And Sleeping Dogs is on the list now because I've been trying to wrap that game up. This is a game I have been playing this week. Sleeping Dogs is great. They made a mistake when they made their achievements. There is so much grindy stuff in there.
Yep.
And it feels bad to slight a game for its achievements stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when one of the achievements is get 50 gold medals, like in different stat games and stuff that you play throughout the course of the game, that's fine. If there was 75 and you've got to get 50, that's great. No, there is exactly 50.
You have to get 100% of them.
Yes, and one of those is 100% the game.
Ooh, okay.
So, yes, I've spent a lot of time this week playing Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah.
Because Sleeping Dogs is still kind of fun, even with this BS, including save scumming the gambling on it, because, you need $1 million in profit to get the gold medal for the gambling.
Wow. Okay.
So I went to the chicken fights, put 100,000 down, and if my chicken won, I saved it and I bet again. If my chicken lost, I loaded it and went back to the chicken fights.
There you go.
So yes, I finally beat all of the base game of Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition.
Nice.
And I am now doing the DLC, which I've never played. Like I didn't play I played some of the DLC on the original version. Like I played the car DLC, for example, where you get the stupid car that has the machine guns that come out the roof that's ridiculously overpowered.
Oh, that's right.
I played that DLC, but I never did the Nightmare at North Point or the Police Quest ones.
Mm-hmm.
So they are separate from the main game in the Definitive Edition, so you have to start them from the main menu. It's a little bit disappointing because you don't have all of your carryover of everything. Like, you don't have all your skills, you don't have all your cars, you don't have this thing you've spent 90 hours working your way to 100% completion to go and get. But I don't think it holds up. Like, I haven't started the cop one yet. I'm pretty much done with the Nightmare at North Point one, which, for those of you who don't remember, that's the one with the hopping zombies.
Yeah, I heard that one was a real low point.
It's okay. It's like 7 missions and like 5 side missions, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
It all takes place on the same area of the map. Like, it doesn't do all of the 4 different areas. It just does the one, North Point, shockingly enough. And it's interesting to look into the whole Chinese mythology of zombies and stuff like that. But still, it's not great. It's like, these zombies are going to hop at me and I'm just going to counter them and punch them a little bit. That's great, you know?
Rinse and repeat for 12 hours?
Not even 12 hours, dude, like 4.
Okay.
Well, at least it was short.
Yeah. I mean, it's short, but guess what? I still have 4 more gold medals to get in their stupid grindy gold medals.
Oh, no.
Shocker.
Just stop. That's all. Just stop.
No, I can't, because it was included in the retail version of the game this time, so I have to do them.
Oh, sure.
Just stop.
You'll know I'll stop when you see that Twitter notification
100%.
saying Sleeping Dogs is being completed.
Yeah.
You see a picture of your phone being thrown through a window.
Yes, possibly. I mean, it's interesting. I hope the cop one is a bit better, because I haven't even seen that. Like, I was part of the Vinny Caravella hype train for Sleeping Dogs, where over that year that it came out, he just played Sleeping Dogs over the Christmas break with everybody in the office.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved seeing all that stuff, but I never saw the cop stuff. So I'm looking forward to going and doing that. But, I mean, Sleeping Dogs is cheap.
Yeah.
If you haven't played it at this point, go play it. It's the true crime game that we deserved.
Yep.
And I kind of wish they'd make another one.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe someday.
I miss the true crime games. Like, the fact that they also did True Crime Streets of LA, which was the LA version.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was New York, then LA, and this is essentially True Crime Hong Kong.
Right.
Give me another one. Just give me another True Crime game.
Just put out another one, Square Enix.
It's not that hard to do. Just don't, need 10 million sales in order to make it profitable.
Well, you already have the engine from Just Cause. Come on.
That engine is so good.
You got it. You got it already. Slap Hong Kong in there.
I really like that engine.
Yeah.
But yes, Sleeping Dogs, go play. Played some Wreckfest. Slowly but surely making my way through the career in that game. It's Demolition Derby, like 100% Demolition Derby, with special little challenges thrown in just for fun, where it's like, okay, here's a figure 8, you're in your race car, go smash people off the track and come first. Great. Yay, fantastic.
Yeah, I did it.
And then you get like the lawnmower events, like I talked about last week, where you're driving a lawnmower. And then they give you the challenge events. Here is a couch car, which is literally a couch with an engine and wheels. Drive it around this figure 8 and come in first.
I love it.
And anytime I say a figure 8, it is a figure 8 where the paths cross.
Right, it's not hopping over.
It's not a bridge or a tunnel. It's a straight up figure 8 where you're going to smash into people and bodies are just going to go flying off these couch chairs as you go by. And then they have the bus challenge,
Oh.
which is a big, huge like race course, and there are 19 school buses,
Jeez.
and you are driving a three-wheeled Morris Minor, which, for those of you who've seen the Top Gear episode, that's the one with the two back wheels and the front wheel in the middle that ends for garbage, and you have to come first and survive against 18 school buses who are just trying to smash you off the road. And it's hilarious seeing a schoolboy drift as you're trying to go around a corner and this thing just comes sideways straight at you.
That's really good.
It's kind of terrifying. Like, it's exactly the kind of dumb game I want. Like, it's loaded up. The loading times are a little bit too long for my liking, but lo and behold, that seems to be this generation's main thing.
Right.
The load times are a little bit too long. But you know what? I don't mind. I kick it up, I look at Twitter, I see the next 5 tweets that have come in since the last time I completed a race, and then I do the race, and I either die spectacularly, or I win and I get some progress and I unlock a new car or a new upgrade for my parts and stuff like that. It seems a little skimpy on the money so far. Like, I don't have enough money to buy any new, like, the higher class cars, but we'll see how things go on that front. I'm just going to slowly try and work my way through it. But Wreckfest is kind of dumb. Like, it's kind of that perfect dumb game where you just load it up, you drive around a couple of laps, you're smashing people in, you get the bonus for spinning somebody out. Which, I don't want to play this game online ever. Unless it's like the big, circles where you're smashing into each other. Because my biggest pet peeve about racing games online is some dude's going to come up behind me, he's going to do the, I can't remember the name of the maneuver now.
Pit maneuver?
Thank you. He's going to do that into my back wheel. He's going to spin me out, and he's going to cruise onto first while I'm at the back of the grid because some dude couldn't handle me winning.
Right.
This is a game designed for pit maneuvers.
It's a game designed for that first turn where everyone crashes into each other.
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, you're sideways across the track. I'm not going to avoid you. I'm going to slam into you as hard as I can and hope that you die.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole nature of this game. It's like, I don't know if I want that online, so
I don't blame you.
Probably won't be playing this online too much unless it's with my wife. But yeah, Wreckfest is dumb fun, and I really kind of like it.
Yeah.
Wreckfest is good.
I dig a dumb fun game.
And this suits that to a core, including some of the paints, which we discussed my wife's paints the other week. I played some Apex Legends. My wife and Em, we all sat down and played that. Season 3 comes out soon.
New map comes out soon?
New map.
Looks super cool.
The Season 3 trailer was pretty solid too.
Yeah, like it. They can cut a good trailer, I gotta say.
They can. New hero in Crypto, which just makes me think of Superman, if I'm completely honest.
It always makes me think about Bitcoin.
Really? Oh, yeah, cryptocurrency. Yeah. See, crypto is the super dog. I mean, come on.
Ah, that's right. Yeah. I was never the biggest Superman fan when I was a kid.
Neither was I, dude, but I still know who Crypto is.
Yeah,
I know who he is, but that would not have been my first train of thought.
Yeah.
So we played some of that, and I think my final tally for the season pass for this season is level 63 or 64. Which,
wow, way up there.
I think I mentioned I'm fine with 50. I got to 60. I'm good with that. So this week I pretty much played support, which is I'm going to log in so my wife and Em don't have to play with a random because my wife was on that choo-choo train to level 110.
Right.
The maximum level for the season pass this year.
You're back there shoveling coal.
Pretty much, yes. I was there to weaken people up, do some damage and not kill, to try and heal and to try and take fire away and like be the human bait kind of thing.
Right. Oh no, I'm over here all by myself with no guns.
Exactly. And yeah, so my wife is now level 110 on the season pass.
Nice. That's the top,
that's
basically?
the maximum, that's the level cap. Okay. And considering we both picked up the season pass like 2 weeks after it started.
Wow.
And didn't really grind it at all. Like she has over the past couple of weeks to get there because like you hit level 90 and there's 3 weeks left and you're like, I can do this.
Right, I see the finish line.
Yeah. So clearly they have amended the season pass correctly in order to allow somebody to actually hit the level cap without having to drop $70 on the, manually leveling it up.
And having a reason to, because it sounds like the rewards were far better than they were.
Yes, even just the aerial taunts was so great. Like,
yeah.
Like the Running Man where he runs in a circle and does a backflip, everyone's got their own weird taunts. Like that stuff is great. And then now they've got the new season pass coming out. And it's like, I'm probably going to be in on this one, and I'm probably just going to like take it nice and slowly, like just jump in, play a little bit, jump out kind of thing. The exclusive suits, they have a premium season pass, which basically you pay $25 instead of 10. You get X amount of levels for free, and you get 3 exclusive skins. I'll see what they look like before I make any actual judgment on that one, but I'm definitely going to be in on at least the level 10 version. Well, not the level 10, but the $10 version, because they've done good work. Like the game continues to be fun to play, it continues to evolve. The events are getting better and better, it feels like, and they're doing better with that kind of stuff. So you know what? I'll give them another $10. I'll see how this new season pass is. See what new taunts you get. See what new animations you get. That kind of stuff.
You'll definitely get way more than $10 of enjoyment out of it.
Yes, and not to mention, like, if you hit the level cap, or if you get up to level 100, you earn $10 in premium currency back.
Oh, cool.
So essentially, by hitting level 100, my wife has the $10 now to immediately get the next season pass, should she choose.
That's really smart.
Because you literally are getting guaranteed people playing it.
Yep.
Because you spend that $10 the first time, you earn it the second season, then you spend that $10 on the third season. And she's also got enough crafting materials now to get crypto the second he's available. She can just be like, craft, done.
Great.
Like, so what's she going to spend that $10 on?
Right.
She might spend it on, cosmetics, or she might just pick up the new season pass right then and there, which then guarantees that we're at least going to be playing it for that period of time, and your player base is maintaining health.
That's cool. That's a smart idea.
Yeah, it's a really clever thing to do, is to include essentially the value of the season pass in premium currency in the season pass rewards. Like, it's a really clever thing to do. And I like Apex. Like, I just like the way it feels.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I can jump in, play it for an hour or two, and jump out and be like, yeah, okay, I didn't have a good day. I did, whatever. Progress is still being made.
8 matches. Yeah.
Yeah. And the weekly challenges they've introduced, like each week they unlock new challenges that give you battle pass levels and all that other stuff. And it's like, great. That's great.
Yeah.
I will continue to support them for whatever they are doing. Brace yourself, Boston.
Okay. I'm ready.
I played Ape Out.
Oh, okay.
Which is available on Game Pass for PC. Which, speaking of which, by the way, I have thought about it, and I have a branding for my new section.
Okay.
It's Game Pass or fail.
I like it. So,
it's going to be a case of I will play something on Game Pass, such as Snake Pass. So many passes involved in this. And yes or no. Is it Game Pass or is it Game Fail? So Game Pass, Snake Pass gets a Game Pass. Any game I play that I don't feel like, people will, like, I didn't enjoy, gets a Game Fail. That's simple. Right. It's like a test. Game Pass, Game Fail. It's great.
Yeah,
branding associated. Yay! But yes, I played Ape Out. This is a strange game.
Yeah. Yeah.
To put it mildly, it's a strange game. It's kind of Hotline Miami-esque, except you play a gorilla.
Right.
And you punch people into walls and they explode into neon-colored blood. It's hard to describe because it's very monochromatic, except it's not obviously black and white. It's like orange and blues and whites. Like, it's
like very stark.
Yes, very stark, very solid colors. The thing that makes this game unusual is the music. because
Yeah.
the music is like this weird jazz band that just happens to be playing in the background, and the music is keyed in such a way that it responds to what you do in the game. So let's say you punch a dude and send him flying into a wall, he hits the wall and explodes and dies. As he hits that wall, there'll be a big cymbal crash of this jazz band just randomly going on the cymbals.
Mm-hmm.
And the music will keep flowing as normal, and the beat slightly increases or decreases or changes. It's this weird game, and I don't know if I like it because I have no experience with Hotline Miami or any of those type of games. But I kind of want to keep playing Ape Out because it's just this weird nonsensical thing where you're just running through. Oh, this guy's got a shotgun. Let me grab him. It flips him around. He shoots his shotgun in front of you, and then you throw him against the wall. It's like, I don't know how to describe this game. It makes me think of a Hotline Miami mixed with Rez. Like the way Rez was for a third-person shooter, where it's just like all this music mingled in with this third-person shooter. This is Hotline Miami with jazz versions of that.
Right.
And it's very strange.
Yeah.
I don't know how I stand on it right now. Because it's hard to describe how I feel. Like it's one of those things, like I play it, I feel like I'm doing good. I feel like I'm enjoying myself. And then I stop playing. It's like, I don't know how I actually felt.
How do I feel about what I just did?
Yeah, it's really hard to explain that game, like, succinctly.
Right.
But you know what? It's on Game Pass. If you're interested in some weird psychedelic stuff, like, I can only imagine what this thing would be like if I was inebriated in the special kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just insane.
Yeah.
I genuinely think it's if this doesn't get voted for, I don't know, best style in Giant Bomb this year.
Best style.
It should be, because so far this year, this is one of the most stylish games I've seen. It has a look and a sound to it that's unlike anything I've ever really seen before. And I think it deserves props just for that.
That's a Devolver published game, right?
I believe it may be. I'm not 100% sure.
I think so.
But yeah, Ape Out is weird. It's very, very strange. Speaking of Game Pass on PC, though, Downwell is there too.
Yeah, Devolver did publish that.
Okay. Downwell, the 2015 mobile game spectacular, is now available on Game Pass on PC.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh boy. I remember hearing about this when Drew Scanlon started talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when he first started talking about it, and he did I think he might have brought her up on UPF, and they did a bit of it on UPF. It's like, that looks interesting, but I don't like mobile phones. I don't like phone controls, so I'm not really that interested in it. This is one of the most addictive games I've ever played.
I feel that way about Downwell. Or not Downwell, I'll look it up. I have it here on my phone. Continue. Hold Down. That's the game.
Okay.
It's very much one of those, like, maybe if I just do one more run? Maybe one more.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's 2 a.m.
Yes. That happened to me last week. We finished the show here, and then while I was waiting for things to export and upload, I did a couple of runs of Downwell that turned into 2 hours of sitting here playing Downwell.
Your wife's like, I thought you were done a while ago.
Yeah, I was. I'm just playing Downwell. It's
falling down, man.
It's become a problem, and it has that whole different palettes thing. It's like, oh, look, now it looks like a Game Boy game.
Right.
That's so cute.
Now it's pink and blue.
Yep. So if you haven't played Downwell or don't know what it is, basically it's a vertically falling game where you have guns in your boots.
Yep.
And you have to shoot the monsters below you so you don't take damage from them. But you have a limited ammo supply, and you refill that ammo supply by booping certain monsters on the head, essentially like a double jump. Like, you boop them when you jump off them, and then you use your bullets to shoot.
Can I tell you, this is one of my favorite references in Enter the Gungeon.
Mm-hmm.
There's an item called gun boots where every time you roll, it shoots bullets out of your feet. And the title of the gun boots is They Go Down Well.
Oh, jeez. Continuing to be the most punny game of all time.
I forgot to mention, last week we were talking about Gears 4. There's a really great you can add active reload to your guns in Enter the Gungeon by picking up the item called the Cog of War. And
Of course.
it's just a cog, and it just gives you active reload. It's really great.
That game is insane.
Gungeon's so good. Anywho.
So many references.
Yeah.
But yeah, Downwell is a problem. I can see that already. I'm kind of glad I haven't played it anymore other than that like 2.5 hour session or whatever.
Glad you don't have it on your phone.
Yes. Well, number one, because I would hate it because it's phone controls. But my word, it was just like, yeah, this is really good. And the controls really well.
Now you get it.
I get it. It's a problem.
Yeah.
I kind of need to not keep playing it, but I kind of want to keep playing it. Yeah. Downwell's really good.
Yeah. I need to play that at some point. It's one of those games that, like, I always keep looking at it and be on sale every once in a while. I was like, it's 15 cents. Just buy Downwell. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I'm playing like 30 other things. I don't know. And I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah, may I recommend Game Pass for PC? You can.
It is a Game Pass.
We'll see. We'll see.
So far,
I literally hit like I don't know how many. I think there's 3 stages in it. I've got to the second stage like 3 times. That game gets real hard, real quick, especially if suddenly you're like, well, if I bounce off people and it reloads my gun boots, and I get a combo, which gives me more gems, which is the currency for upgrading stuff at the end. So I get more unlocks by getting more gems. So I'm just going to combo this entire level all the way down.
Right.
And then you get to 18, and then you make a stupid mistake, and then stupid mistake cascades into another stupid mistake.
Alt F4.
Yes, and then it's just that constant trickle-down effect of mistake to mistake. It's just like, yeah, okay. New run, let's go. I can do that again. Let's go.
I can do it this time.
New run, let's go. He's like, oh, I picked up the laser boots. I hate the laser boots. It's so terrible. But yes, Downwell is fun. Give it a try. Try not to smash controllers, monitors, or whatever else may be in your immediate vicinity. And my final game this week, because as you can tell, I did a lot of cleanup. Dead by Daylight. As of right now, they are having a 2 times blood points weekend.
Oh yeah, double blood points.
Yup. Which meant that it was time for the gang to get together.
Farming the noobs.
Why does it sound like the Quake announcer?
I don't know.
So, yeah, we played a lot of this. Dead by Friday, Dead by Saturday, sure, why not? And yeah, I played a lot and got like the blood points cap is 1 million blood points in your account at one time.
Wow.
On Friday I got from like 200 to 400,000, and then on Saturday I got from like 1,000 to 326,000. So then I promptly just pumped all of that blood into the pig. This phrasing I have to use when I talk about this game, I swear.
Exhibit A, Your Honor.
So is there an actual pig in the game then, or?
Yes, it's the lady from the Saw movies who wears the pig mask.
My wish, not having ever played Dead by Daylight and seeing very little of it, I really wish a pig, like a pig with the apple in its mouth on the plate and everything, was the person who runs the store in game, and you're actually just feeding blood to that thing to like unlock skins and stuff.
Oh god, this game is weird. Like, I don't know why, but it's still so much fun. Like, it's so much fun, and I clocked up like another 5 or 6 achievements in it this weekend. So there was discussions to be had in regards to achievements like the achievements in this game that we talked about while playing, because we're at that point now where literally it doesn't matter which group we're playing with. We can just sit there and talk about any old BS because we're all just kind of in tune with the way the game works now. It's like, oh, well, you know, he's a good killer. He did pretty well. We kind of got stomped. That's good. I'm going to send him give him a thumbs up and send him a quick message and say GG.
Pat on the butt. Like, good job, bud. Yeah,
trying to embrace the positivity rather than douse the world in salt.
Being a good citizen.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, Rob, I'm going to throw you under the bus. We had a killer who was real good. Like, it was me, Rob, and 2 randoms and like they stomped us, like absolutely, like like completely and utterly stomped us. And so Rob's the last person alive, and every update the game gets, they add new achievements, blah blah blah, whatever. So with Bill's new achievement, Bill's updates. So Bill from Left 4 Dead is a character in the game now. When he came out, he one of his achievements was taking one for the team, which is getting hit when protecting a survivor who you just unhooked. Basically, that's already in the game as a protection, but now there is an achievement progress tied towards it.
Okay.
It doesn't retroactively stamp all of your previous protections onto the new achievement. It's just like, okay, now you go do this, get yourself, another achievement thing. One of the DLCs, they brought out an achievement for escaping through the hatch, which is difficult enough as it is, while crawling. So you have to be crawling on your belly, basically about to die, and escape through the hatch. I unlocked the achievement kind of luckily.
Okay.
I got put down right by a hatch. Then he went and killed the other person. The hatch spawned open right in front of me. I was like, boop, boop, I'm done.
Nice.
Great. I got that achievement fine. We were playing against this killer, and like I said, they stomped us all over the place. Like, Rob was right by the exit, opens the exit gates. The killer gets there, stops him from escaping, picks him up, carries him over to the hatch, dumps him on the floor, and he's like, go on. You crawl through the hatch. Enjoy yourself.
You can do it.
So that killer, for example, got a little GG, good job kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Rob unlocked the achievement.
Nice.
My wife still doesn't have it.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
So there's some fun to be had in that department later when she hears this.
Right.
I'll know either Rob will get a message or I'll get something thrown at me when she finds out about this.
Understandably.
So, sorry, Rob. But no, the game continues to be fun. I actually played with the pig a whole bunch. I had a near perfect game, but it was too short, so I didn't get the Adept Pig achievement. Yay!
Bummer.
I was too good of a killer to get myself an achievement.
I was going to say that doesn't make sense. You ended the game earlier than it normally does, but yet you didn't get the perfect achievement for doing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, which is because you get the way it's tallied is basically be involved in chases, end the chases quickly. Survivors, don't let them heal themselves. Hook survivors as much as you can. By the time I was finished with this pig run, again, crazy, they still had 5 generators that they had not activated.
Oh, wow.
They hadn't activated a single generator. I had hooked them all twice, and then I killed 3 of them with my consumable Mori item, which is where I just stabbed them in the face after I hooked them. So I had the maximum on those, but because I didn't get involved in enough chases, I didn't get my Adept achievement. So
that's a bummer.
When you talk about them making this game harder to get those achievements, that's why. Because it used to be...
You have to toy with your prey for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to embrace that perk that Michael has, which is called Play With Your Food. Which is one of Michael's actual perks.
That's
so
great.
Slightly disappointed to not get the pig Adept achievement, but I walked away from this weekend with like an additional 750,000 blood points and literally nowhere to spend it anymore.
Right.
So I'm just going to start throwing it into random people. The reason I threw it into the pig is because she has a very grindy achievement. So I'm just going to maximize my chances of getting her Adept achievement while also doing her grindy achievement. Oh, that achievement. That's a mailbag episode question. Which I put in the chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But yes, that's all I've been playing. Dead by Daylight is great. Hit me up, Moonpier, Xbox, let's go.
All right, Nimp, how about you?
All right. So, I played the Trials of Cold Steel 3 demo. Only because I had kind of vented my frustrations with the second game over different media outlets. And they weren't really frustrations. I just didn't really think that the story was really going anywhere, per se.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a couple people reach out to me and say, hey, demo's out, give it a shot, but they really start to pick up on the story in the third game, because it's already been out in Japan forever now. It's just coming over stateside. It's like, all right, whatever, it's a free demo, I'll check it out. So the third game takes place a year after the second game is completed. and Yerk Reen, who is the main character that you play as, graduated like a month. What is it? Yeah, about a month after the game picks up. You become the instructor in this game now.
Oh, cool.
So you have your own class of students who you are in charge of. And the demo is basically the entire prologue. You get a little bit of the hint of, hey, this is what your characters will be like after they've leveled up for a while. Then they throw you back to square one where you're all level 1 and you suck.
Yes.
Oh, they do the old abilities.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will never let that phrase die.
No.
Yeah, this is what you have to look forward to 70 hours from now.
Right.
But playing it, they've made a lot of controller changes. They've added some extra systems in, which, I mean, they feel nice. Everything's working good, and the story so far seems okay. So I may be checking that out when it comes out in October.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it, because they don't really go too... Obviously, it's just the demo, so they don't go too in-depth with the story. But the demo was worth checking out for me. It changed... I mean, I still don't like 2, story-wise. I think they made that go on far too long. But they may be taking it in a good direction now. So I'm going to check that out probably when it comes out in October. After that, I started playing more Demon Gaze 2 on the Vita. I managed to figure out a way to make money.
Hey.
Which has really helped me out. So, like I said last week, the game is a first-person dungeon crawler, much in the vein of Etrian Odyssey. I don't know if Etrian Odyssey has this, but for every dungeon, there's a demon in it that you fight. To be able to fight that demon, there are these control points throughout the maps that you have to take over. And they're basically these floating diamonds throughout the map. You have these gems that you put into the floating diamond. They represent items that you can get. You fight monsters. If you win, you get an item from that, tier, whatever. In one of the areas that I was having issues with the demon, I found out that the equipment grade that they give you is C grade. Everything before that has been D and E. So that's why my equipment sucks. And that's also why nothing sells for more than 100, whatever they call the, money currency in this game. But anytime you hit anything that's C grade, it's usually about 1,000 gold.
Ooh, okay.
So I was like, all right, these gems are only 150 to buy in shop. You get to spend 3 gems at the most at each diamond.
Ah, I see.
You're raking in around $3,000 if you don't happen to get a top tier item for that area. So yeah, so next thing you know, I'm rolling around in $40,000.
Doing some MMO farming over here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna build up my leatherworking skill.
The game stopped being an issue. I got a lot more grinding in, just because I was trying to make the money. I was able to increase their equipment, so everyone's stats are better. I did get some extra levels in, so I got to improve their actual base stats. And the demon that I was having an issue with, I just walked in and stomped all over it. And then went to the next demon and stomped all over that one. It's like, wow, this sucks. Because I was having such a terrible time with this game.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But that was kind of the other thing too, because they didn't really do this in the first game, where they had, like, I guess, item grade. But it was never, I think in the first game it was based off of your level. So if you weren't within the certain level, I guess, specification or requirement, you were never going to get like an A grade item as a level 1 through 10 or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so this one is based off of the areas. So I've only got like one small area that I can grind out that'll give me these C grade items, and then the next optional demon area that I unlock, apparently that gives you B grade items.
Ooh, yeah.
So I've filling out my demon inventory. I bought more rooms in the hotel because you can do that for your demons. I still don't know what it does yet, besides I can buy the rooms or rent the rooms and put the demons in there, and I can give them a piece of furniture that will increase their stat.
There you go.
But it's never anything high or great, so it's like, I don't know why I would do that.
Give them a nice roof over the head,
I guess. But... So yeah, that game's coming along now. It doesn't feel as daunting as it did when I was first really playing it. So that's great. Next game after that is Control.
Yes.
Control.
I got, to me, so I beat the game.
Okay.
And it felt like I got to a point, and then all of a sudden it was story, end game.
Yep. Pretty much. Yep.
Which, I mean, was great, because, I mean, it was a lot of good story, but it felt like I still had a while to go, and then all of a sudden it felt like the game was just done.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I finished the game, and for story reasons, they dump you back into the game.
Yep, thankfully.
And yes. And then I got a crap ton of missions that they give you.
Go do everything.
All that have like sub-article, whatever, do these other 15 things to complete this one mission. So I started digging around with some of that, but I haven't finished all the extra stuff yet. But it's a really good game. I really like it. I really like the detail that they put into a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Did you go talk to the plants yet?
Yes, I already talked to all the plants.
It's a great mission.
Telling them that I wish my leaves looked as pretty as theirs.
Yep, that's
right. But yeah, that game's really great. I think I might get the DLC for it.
Yeah, just the descriptions alone are sort of like, I want to check that out.
I mean, the AWE event.
Yeah, and Foundation is the other one. It's like, I want to learn more about that. Yes.
Yeah, the janitor vacation was kind of sweet.
Yeah, that was a cool
I
sequence.
understand why people like the Astral Maze sequence. Although I actually had that bug out on me.
Really?
I had an area where the enemies didn't all fully spawn.
Oh, rough.
So I was just standing in an empty room, and I'm like, well, and because this game is as crazy as it is, I'm like, well, am I supposed to like knock on a door or something,
just, like,
or
wait
what's
here
going
for 5
on?
minutes?
Yeah. And then randomly an enemy would just show up behind me, and then there wouldn't be anything for a while, and then all of a sudden another enemy would just show up randomly.
Comes up from behind you, out of breath, like, I made it, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Oh god.
So that was weird, and I ended up dying in that one anyway because I couldn't get it to continue on so I could keep going.
Right.
But that whole sequence is pretty cool.
Yeah, Ashtray Maze is real good.
But yeah, I'm planning on going through and completing the rest of it because I know that there's a bunch of other stuff that I haven't touched. Like I haven't done anything with the anchor yet. I located it. I knew that I needed, and then I located it. Realized I needed ability at the time that I did not have to be able to access it. And now, obviously, I have that ability, so I can go back to it.
And when you get that ability, that is the moment where it's like, go to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fight especially is one of my favorites.
Use Pierce. Thank you, Vinny Caravella from the Giant Beast cast. I did that battle in the most awkward way you're kind of supposed to do it, which is to say, shoot and move. If you use the Pierce version of the gun, you don't have to do the movement part. You can... The weak point is exposed no matter where you are.
Okay.
Interesting, because I just threw 4 things into the middle of it and it died. I didn't even use my gun.
You were super powerful at that point then. I was like, as soon as I got the ability that you need to do that, I went and did that, and that battle was a nightmare battle for me.
I would recommend doing all the side missions and stuff. I don't remember... The only one that I didn't like was one of the optional bosses, whose name is a spoiler. But that was a really tough fight, but everything else I really liked.
I sent you guys a text message about the fridge.
That fridge boss is...
That took me a couple of tries.
Yeah,
and
you have to fight him twice.
Yeah, and
he's not great.
I knew what I had to do. It was just getting used to being it, because this game's strong suit is not combat.
No.
And the
it's
camera...
fun, but it's not the strongest.
Yeah, and the camera can sometimes be a little restrictive in your view. So when there's things happening around you, and up and down and all around, you can't really see everything that's happening until it's too late. So
yeah, until you fall through the floor and you're like, great, I'll
Yeah.
try again. Okay.
didn't realize that was a thing until it happened.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna finish out a bunch of that stuff. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the game, and I'm looking forward to more of it.
Yeah.
I am shocked to see how many people are talking positively about this game. Like, this seems to be the quintessential word of mouth game, and it makes me laugh because there was that tweet going around this week where it's like, top of your head, 10 best games of the last like 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jeff Gersman put Control in his list.
Wow.
And then very quickly put another list together and said it could just as easily have been these 10 games instead. Well,
I'll have to go look at his list. I didn't see that.
Yeah. It feels... This is probably going to be poorly phrased, but this feels redemptive for Remedy.
Yep.
Like, we can do something truly special. Like, we can make something... We don't need the corporate influence of all this other stuff, and you're going to take Max Payne away from us.
Right.
And, the game that defined a generation of PC games, you're going to take that away from us. Fine, we'll do Alan Wake, which is a cult classic in of itself.
Yep.
Then they got more corporate BS with the Microsoft and the Quantum Break thing, especially how much that changed between Design Dock and Final Game, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like a solid performance from Remedy, showing we still can do great things.
Yep.
And by the way, we're really good at tech still.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, and that's the thing too, because I started running into a lot of issues with this game towards the end, where it was just like simple system stuff. Like if you push down, it changes your camera from right shoulder to left shoulder.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That started to not work for me like halfway through the game, where I would have to save and then close out the game, go back into the game, and it reset it.
Yeah.
And the closer to the end of the game that I got, it started to become more and more of a problem, where all of a sudden it would just lock and I couldn't use that at all. So I would have to quit the game, get back into it. And for any other game, I would have been like, no, screw this.
I'm done with this, whatever.
But I mean, they did so well with the lore of the game that there was stuff that I was willing to deal with for it because I wanted to keep playing it.
You got to see where that game is going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in my mind, this is not a perfect game.
Right.
But it's really close.
Yeah.
So, and it was enough that I was willing to deal with the issues that the game had.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so after beating that game, I kind of got in a weird funk and didn't really know what to play after that. So my son and I played Rocket League for a while.
Yes.
And I absolutely dislike the hockey puck in this game. Because anytime that thing seems to make it anywhere near a goal, it's going in the goal.
Yep.
And yeah, and I was driving the oh wow, I am completely blanking. Back to the Future car.
The DeLorean.
Thank you. All I could think of was Dumonte, and I don't know why.
You're welcome.
So I was driving that car, and that car has such a low profile that when you think you should hit something, you don't. You just drive right underneath it every time.
It's a paddle. It's like there's a couple of different classes of car in the game, and there's a couple of them that are like that, where it's just like you get big brick truck kind of things. It's just like you just drive at something, you're going to hit it. Whereas the DeLorean and stuff is best for like aerials where you'll flip the car and you hit it like a bat. Like it feels like that's what those type of cars are designed for.
Yeah, it's aerodynamic to the point that it's annoying. So my son likes to play 2v2 a lot. I don't really care either way, but we were doing really good for a while there. We started getting into labs, some 3v3, and then the last one that we played was the hockey rink.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting better at hitting the ball. I'm still working on direction. but it's coming to me. We also bought Ecto 1. We bought the Jurassic Park World Jeep.
Yep.
And I told my son that if we're buying cars, we're also buying kit.
Natural.
Yep.
And he was like, well, I don't know what kit is. And I'm like, you don't even know what Ecto 1 is. Don't play these games with me.
You don't need to know.
Yeah,
All you need to know is we are buying it.
Yeah, he's almost at the age for Ghostbusters, but not quite.
Yeah.
So we bought those cars. He's been geeked out. He's trying them out. It was funny because I was in the room playing something else, and he was messing. I guess when you buy the Jurassic Park Jeep, you get the Mr.
gold
DNA.
Explosion? Yep.
No, you get the Mr. DNA name plaque or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hear him in the other room explaining to my daughter. He's like, "Hey, this one, it's called Mr. DNA. I don't know what that is." And I'm just sitting there laughing to myself. And what's so funny? It's like just hearing him say things that he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
When you get that one as well, you do get the goal explosion, which when you have that goal explosion equipped, Boston probably don't know, but when you score, a big explosion comes from the goal, blast all the goal, all the balls away. Different things, like you can have sparks and rainbows and stuff. With the Jurassic Park truck, it's a giant T-Rex head that comes out of the goal and goes, "Rawr!"
He told me he got the Stay Puft Marshmallow for the Ecto 1 as well.
That's good.
I was like, oh, that's pretty sweet. So I'm kind of curious. Did they do one for the Knight Rider? Don't tell me what it is, but did they do one for it? Do you know?
I don't know, unfortunately.
Okay. I'm going to find out. I don't know what it would be, but
yeah, I don't know what that would
stupid
be.
Fun.
Yes.
Just a shirtless Hasselhoff coming out like, yeah.
Oh, if only. That would be my default all the time.
That's right.
So the last game I played, because I was kind of in a funk and didn't really know what to play, but then I realized I have a game to play, is I got back into Technomancer.
Oh, yeah.
I have finished Chapter 2, which they dump a ton of quests your way for this chapter. So many.
Technomancer.
And so I'm on Chapter 3 now, which they also dump quests your way, but not as many. And I'm pretty sure I'm getting close. I don't know if this chapter will be the last chapter, if there's one more, but I'm pretty much at the point where it's like, oh, rally up your allies and, get ready to, push
your
forward.
loyalty quests.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of running around and stuff to do. The only thing that I really dislike about this game is that they didn't add a whole lot, I guess, scenery to it, which I guess it's on Mars, so there's not really it's not like a fully terraformed Mars or anything, so there's not a whole lot you can do with it. But it kind of really just takes place in this one major city, which is kind of a pain to get around. Mm-hmm. And then this other city, which is smaller and not as much of a pain, but there's not as much to do or look at there either. So that kind of sucks. This game could have really used fast travel within the city, because it is such a... It does the crappy thing where when you have a mission, it'll show you, okay, these are the elevators or stairways or doors that you can go through to get to this mission. Mm-hmm. What it doesn't take into account is that that's only so that you can get up to that level. It doesn't mean you can get past that area and further into that level. It just means you can get up to that level.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can go like the second level or the basement, but you went through the wrong side, so you have to go like back and around. It's like, just tell me exactly where I need to go to get to the thing that I need to do.
Yeah, don't highlight all of them, just highlight one of them.
Any one of these 6 exits. It's like, that's... Nope.
So, I went through, did all the questing for Chapter 2. I am now the Freedom Fighter Champion of the arena, or whatever they call me now.
Nice.
Which... Yeah, alright, cool. The last 3 fights for that really sucked him really hard.
Oh, wow.
So I was spamming, I forget what they call it, basically potions for like the last fight. Right. And I was pretty sure that I died, and my game glitched out for a brief moment, because I think I did die, but I hit the potion right as I was dying, so I went from like 112 potions to all of a sudden just having 81. So
Interesting.
I think what had happened was it was doing multiple attacks at me at once. So I think what was happening was, since I glitched it at the right moment, it kept using a potion every time I would hit to 0. And it hit me so many times, it dropped me from 120 to 80.
That's really great.
Items. So, whatever. Works out for me because I won.
Yep.
Man.
So, I should be able to beat that this week, assuming that life allows me to, because it's been stupidly hectic the last 2 weeks for some reason. And I can't even pinpoint exactly why. But I'm at that point where I'm kind of excited to finish this game.
Yeah.
Just because I'm looking forward to what crazy badass thing they do at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I've been playing. What have you been playing, Boston?
Boy, my life has also been crazy busy because my almost 3-year-old has a lot of feelings. So I've not played very much this week. Mario Kart Tour came out this week. That's the iOS and Android Mario Kart game. Boy, where to start? I'll get into the big problems in a minute. It doesn't feel great to race, which is sort of a fundamental thing for a racing game. There are 2 control methods. One is like you sort of swipe on the screen to turn. That really doesn't feel great because you don't. There's no acceleration or brake or anything. You're just always driving, and it's like an automatic runner almost. You're just sort of turning your way around corners.
Yeah, Mario Kart on the Wii had a similar mode.
Yes, yeah. The other control mode is drift mode, where you're sort of swiping and holding, and that will do like your fishtail drifting. That feels a little bit better, but it sometimes feels a little bit hard to take tighter turns because you can't really brake, and you're not using a D-pad or anything, so it feels really hard. Where the game's problems start, the very first thing you have to do is you sign in with a Nintendo account, which is fine. You probably have one right now because you probably have a Switch.
Yep.
I don't think that's too big of an issue.
And so you have to enter your 27-digit friend code or whatever?
Yeah, God. Thankfully, it just takes you to a website and you just sign in, and that actually works. So it's like a modern thing. The real problems with Mario Kart Tour are twofold. One is, one of the first things the game has you do is, it says like, why don't you take a try shooting something out of the pipe? And I was like, what the hell?
This is what I was waiting for.
I was like, what the hell does that mean? Like, what am I shooting out of a pipe? So it brings you to the screen. You pull down a pipe like a plunger for a pinball. You shoot something out. Ta-da! It's a gotcha game.
Yep.
So I pulled a rare Toad and a rare Peach. I was like, oh, this is not what I'm already playing too many gotcha games to begin with.
Yep. Strap yourself in, Boston. It's time to get another one on the go.
I don't need a Mario Kart gotcha game. Then, to make matters worse, 200cc race speed, locked behind not only a paywall, a $5 a month subscription paywall. Which I think inherently isn't bad. Because it seems like it gives you a whole bunch of extra pulls. You get your gotcha stuff if you're really involved in it.
Mm-hmm. You pull from the banners to use
monthly VIP or whatever.
Exactly. Like you get all the gold VIP stuff. The optics couldn't have landed at a worse time, though, with Apple Arcade, though.
Yeah.
Because...
Like, which one do you want to spend $5 on?
Right.
Mario Kart?
Or 75 games. And I think it not controlling well, locking the fastest speed behind a paywall, and it being a gotcha game, all at the same time, that's too much, man. That's like, I appreciate that Nintendo wants to make money on these games, and they want to keep people playing for as long as they can, because you're going to want to do your daily races to pull on the banner, and etc. I've already uninstalled it. Like, if it had controlled really well and it was really fun to race, I could maybe stick with it for a couple of weeks to see how the gacha is. Yeah. And I found it really hilarious that people are complaining about the gacha pull rates, because some people are like, the rarest things are only like 0.3%. I was like, boy, that seems really generous. My
Really?
goodness.
0.3? Talk to me about 0.01%.
Right,
Exactly.
Like, to me, that's rare. Is like, if you have 3 digits after the decimal, like that, now you're talking. But 0.3, like, that's pretty generous. Which means gacha games have poisoned my brain. But yeah,
You got a whole decibel number.
yeah, like I'm not gonna be playing Mario Kart Tour. Like I think it looks incredible. I don't know what engine they're running on, but it runs really well. Looks incredible. Literally everything else about it is just no fun to play at all. There was a surprise demo for MediEvil this week called the Short-Lived demo, which
It's for someone who likes puns, that's the perfect title for you.
yeah, it's like 3 puns all in once, because it disappears on the 6th. What's the main character's name? It just escaped my brain.
Don't ask me, dude. I can't remember. Claude?
Sir
Fortescue, I think, is the main character.
Oh.
Famously, he's like this huge hero of this battle, and he destroyed the enemy, and he fought for weeks and weeks. But the reality of it is he died in the first volley. Like, he was the very first soldier to die. So he was short-lived. And the demo is really short too. I'm kind of. It's hard to make a demo out of stuff, and I can respect that. The MediEvil demo is too short, because it's basically the crypt you wake up in, which is a very, very small tutorial area, and then like the first third of the first level. So by the time you get to the point where you're like, yeah, all right, I'm getting the combat down, I'm getting the movement down and everything, I'm going to go to this next area, and it says, would you like to pre-order now? That doesn't feel super great. This is a really weird remake, because it feels exactly like the first MediEvil game, just with camera controls now. And
I forgot that didn't have camera controls.
Yeah, like it didn't. I think it might have had.
It was like Gauntlet style camera, wasn't it? Like above and.
It was sort of behind the back. I think you could do like L1, R1 to like 90-degree snap the camera, if I remember correctly.
I think you could do a focus. Like you could do those two to focus behind you again.
Yeah. I wish they'd gone a little bit further, because movement feels exactly the same as it did in the original. I'm a really big fan of the original MediEvil game.
Yes. It was the better of most of those wannabe mascot platformers at the time.
Yeah, like the first one was really good, the second one was really good, and then it just kind of disappeared. The movement feels like the original, but that doesn't feel great in 2019, and the combat feels exactly the same, but that kind of doesn't feel great anymore either, which is kind of weird, because I can hop right back into it as someone who loved the original, but I don't see anybody new picking this up at all, because in reality, it's been a really long time since the PS1, and this doesn't
changed.
Yeah, like it doesn't control anything like a modern game at all. It doesn't even feel like it tries to bridge the gap, and because it's one of those demos that just gives you the intro stuff. It's not one of those like, here's level 1 and here's level 15, so you can sort of see where it goes.
Yeah.
I have no idea if the upgrades you get over the game are going to improve that at all. So, I don't know, man. I'm still pretty excited about it, because I like the game. I like the original game, and this is $30, and it seems like it's just, they made that game with much prettier, but...
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be enough. We'll have to see.
The winter of game has arrived, so...
Yeah, me putting it on psprices.com has arrived.
Yep.
Yeah. And lastly, I finished Zelda Link's Awakening, which, as a remake, does a really good job of staying true to the original source material, but modernizing nearly all of it while kind of keeping that spirit alive. I really liked Link's Awakening. So I think they made one small change to the ending that I really like. They might have made that in the DX version, but I'm not sure because I never played it. It sort of links it with the other... Sorry. It sort of connects it with the other continuity of the other games.
But is this the positive timeline, or is this the dark timeline?
I think it's the positive one. I'm not your Zelda timeline expert, but I believe it sort of changes the ending from a sad one to a bit of a bittersweet one, which I think is a large improvement.
Yeah, they didn't add that in the DX version because the only thing extra you got was obviously the color, but then you also got the EX dungeon, and that was it. So any extra story stuff would be tied to just this game. Okay,
yeah. So they added like one line that's sort of like, all right, cool, yeah, I'll take that. I really liked Link's Awakening, and I think the thing that I've been surprised about this week is that I'm seeing a lot of people struggling with Link's Awakening as a game because...
It tells you nothing.
Here's the thing, though.
It actually does. No.
It tells you... It does the old school gaming thing, which we're all used to because we played these games back then. It's the season 1 of Scrubs, episode 1. It's the learn by doing. It's like you do stuff and you take the hints of the level, and you learn by seeing what is happening in front of you. Which,
well, and here's the other thing: they keep the thing that the original game did, which is basically when you finish a dungeon, it'll say like, "The ocean, go to the ocean," and it's very much like, go here for your next dungeon. Like, and you're expected to explore around, read every sign. And it's been really interesting because I still remember the large beats from each one of these ones. So it's like, oh, right, the face dungeon is split into two, so I have to do the northern one, and then the southern one is the actual dungeon. I know in the Eagle's Tower, I have to hit the 4 pillars to actually destroy part of the tower to bring it down and fight the boss. Like, I remember this stuff. And it's been oh, go ahead.
I was watching somebody play this week, and it amazed me when they went... Like, I just randomly jumped into this person's stream, took one look at the room they were in and what they were hitting the sword against. I was like, oh, well, that's this dungeon that you get this item from, and that's the item that you use to get through there. I was like, how do I know that?
It all comes flooding back. It's incredible. And it's been really interesting to see people beat their head against the wall, saying, like, the game doesn't tell you where to go. Like, the game doesn't tell you what to do. And it's like, but it's really great at being what a Metroidvania eventually turned into, and what Zelda games have largely stopped being, which is, like, when you start Link's Awakening, you can't get to the sword until you have the shield, because you need to push away the Mario spiky guys.
Yep.
And, like, once you get the sword, now you can go to the mysterious forest because you couldn't, get past whatever was up there, and it's you're taking it one step at a time, and that applies to the overworld too, where it's like, okay, cool, now I have the bracers, now I can pick stuff up, so now I can get a little bit into a little bit of the larger world, because now I can get past some rocks. And it's been interesting to me, because I think it's probably one of the easiest Zelda games, but that's because I, for some reason, essentially memorized it when I was a kid, so I was like, oh right, the next is Face Dungeon, next is I gotta get Richard those 5... golden feathers. It's like I know how to do, and
probably because you were like me and you had weeks and months of trial and error trying to figure it out.
And you had that one game.
The next issue of Nintendo Power wasn't coming out for another month, and you didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and like that was your one game for the next 6 months. So it's like, I finished it. I guess I'm gonna play it again.
Play it again.
Yeah, delete my save.
The Yoshi doll. Yay!
Yeah, he's like, God, that's stupid. So. God, the crane game. So in the original, the crane game was get the crane to hit the thing, and you're guaranteed to get it. This time, it has physics.
Yeah.
and it's a monster.
Yeah, I saw somebody attempt to get the shell about 70 times.
It's a disaster.
I watched a guy also almost get that Yoshi doll about 9 times. And I'm like, dude, even I can see what you're doing wrong. Just move it here.
My brother sent me a picture where the Yoshi doll was laying on the border between the conveyor belt and the rest of the stage. Like, 2 pixels away from where it would have just picked it up and pulled it to him.
Yep.
So frustrating. Yeah. I think Link's Awakening is really great. I think if you haven't played it before, which is likely, because it's seeming like a ton of people missed it, I really recommend it. I think it's one of the better... it's my favorite Zelda game, just because it's weird.
Yeah, one of my top 3.
Yeah, and I think it's a really great 2D Zelda game, and playing through this makes me really sad that there aren't like 2 Zelda games being developed at any time, like the big 3D Breath of the Wild style, and then a 2D Zelda game, like just an overworld, go get stuff from dungeons 2D Zelda game. Because I think you think of like Seasons and Ages, which I've never played, and I'm trying to find my charger for my 3DS so I can go play them because they're on there. Like, Minish Cap is an incredible game, and like the trading in there where you're putting together puzzle pieces with other people around you're shrinking yourself down in little tiny dungeons and you're getting big. Like, there's so many really great 2D Zelda games, and I think
pretty sure Oracles and Seasons and Minish were all Capcom. Capcom are literally doing nothing other than Monster Hunter right now, so go give Capcom the Zelda franchise.
God, please, yeah. I would love to see it.
Well, that was the thing I kind of felt too when I started playing Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
When I got into that game, I was like, God, it just felt good to be back into that style of a Zelda game. Yeah. I mean, I really love the 3D Zelda games that we're getting now, and I'm really looking forward to Breath of the Wild too.
Yep, 100%.
But it was just having that one back on a portable and 2 playing that style again. It just felt really nice again.
Especially after Spirit Tracks and whatever the other one was, where they were being very experimental with the formula, which I think is great. I think both games were misses for me, but I like that they were trying to get out of the mold that Zelda was in. But sometimes I want the Zelda mold. Sometimes I want a mold that looks like a purple rupee. And I go, yeah, and it goes, da-na-na-na. Like, that's it. That's all I want. So go play Link's Awakening. I had frame rate issues from the front to the back, and I'm seeing some people online that it's not bothering, which is great. And thankfully it's not to the point where it was giving me a headache or making me sick or anything, but I'm optimistic that they will patch it, but realistic enough to think that they probably won't. But it's not going to break the game. So,
was it mostly just during the tile shifts when you would change from an area, or?
Yeah, and like you could tell it like loaded the tile set from that area, and as soon as it did, it's super smooth. And like all the dungeons were 60 frames. Overworld was largely 60 frames, and it's great looking. It's super cute. I wish the music was a little bit louder in some of the dungeons, because some of them. So one of the most famous pieces of music from this game is the Face Dungeon theme. The version they have in this game weaves a new version of the Face Dungeon music and the old version together, and it's incredible. But all the music is a little bit lower on the mix, and of course when you go to the system menu in the game, your 2 options are save and load.
Yep.
There are no audio or anything like that, which is a real bummer. But Link's Awakening is really great. It very much is the remake I was hoping Nintendo would make, which is, here is Link's Awakening, we made it look super good and super cute, and that's it. And we didn't really mess with it at all. And
we shoved all this homage stuff in there, which works out really well.
Yeah. It's just, Link's Awakening is really great. I cannot recommend it enough. That's all I played this week. So let's take a break.
Yep.
I'm going to crack my window open a little bit. Let's get a little stuff out.
Yeah, I'm going to pick up Link's Awakening at some point.
Yeah, it is really great.
We're back.
All right.
I was actually really surprised when I found the amiibo. That's why I grabbed it right when I did.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Like, normally you can't find those anywhere for anything.
Yeah, where's mine? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I picked up.
Oh, you kept yours in the box.
Yeah, I don't really use amiibos, so for me, it's.
Oh, my kids do all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Look at how shiny that is.
He's so cute and fierce. Look at that. Yeah. I don't have very many amiibos because I just I buy the ones that I think that I really like, or like the amiibo collection back there. I have like Piranha Plant because that's dumb. Like, I'm gonna buy a Piranha Plant. That's great. I think I have Boo because Boos are my favorite. I think I have like one or two more, but that's really it. I think I have like the Wind Waker Link because I really like that style. They call him Toon Link, and I fucking hate that.
Yeah, the only ones I ever wanted were the Legend of Zelda ones, but those all pretty much sold out as soon as they came out.
Yep.
And that was why for the Breath of the Wild ones, I kind of went a little crazy with it, because as soon as I knew that they were coming out, the first series, I hit every local store that I could find, and I think I found like 2 of them.
Oh, man.
And then it kind of turned into this thing where I remember that my wife and I were taking a vacation to Chicago for something. And anytime we would stop, if there was a Best Buy, a Meijer, a Walmart, a GameStop at that exit, she knew that, okay, you're going to take a couple minutes to go in there.
Yeah.
And I found a bunch of, like, the Guardian one was the hardest one for me to find.
Yeah.
And I think I found that when we were driving out to Maryland for one of her cousin's weddings. Because I just happened to stop at a Best Buy, and it was sitting right there at the cash register as soon as I walked in, and it was the last one they had, and I nabbed that thing.
Sprinting over to it. Yeah.
Well, and I was telling her too, because I looked it up. I think it was Friday. That thing, to buy it online, is $108 now.
Whoa. Wow. Amiibos are crazy.
I would have punched a kid to get that thing.
Yeah.
Not really, but I would have thought about it.
Yeah. I would have gently pushed him away.
So yeah. It's like it's even got to the point now where like a lot of the amiibo Legend of Zelda amiibos that I can't find now, I've been buying from like other countries, like the 8-bit 8-bit Link that I have.
Yeah.
I imported that from Japan. And it was actually cheaper to buy it from Japan than it was to find it here online in the States.
Yeah, I did that. I bought the 8-bit Mario one, but I think I imported the Japanese one because it was like half the price, and it came with a different costume. Like, America got like the Mario 1 look, and I think Japan got like Mario 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the thing, because if it doesn't work for, our Nintendo product here in the States, I don't really care, because I just wanted the little statuette because I liked the way it looked. And that's I've got 2 different Peaches over here because my daughter really likes Peach.
Right.
The first one that we found was the second version of Peach, where there's not a whole lot of detail to her. But I happened to be at a random store and found the original Peach that they came out, where there's like a ton of detail. And so I picked that up for her too. So now she's got 2 of them. And at the time, the Wii U saw both Peaches as the same type of Peach.
Oh, interesting.
But they just look different.
Weird.
So, whatever.
All right, you guys ready to wrap this thing up?
Yep.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about releases for the week of September 30th, 2019. Call of Duty Mobile comes out on iOS and Android. I think this is really notable because I think there's PUBG and Fortnite on mobile are monstrously huge. And I think there's a huge market here that can be captured just on Call of Duty name alone. Getting people to download it and try it at the very least. Yeah. So I'm very curious to see where that can go, because that could capture a pretty big market share here. Destiny 2 Shadowkeep and New Light come out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I haven't talked about it for a while, but Destiny 2 New Light is genuinely free to play. So
yeah, I've been reading the stuff that they've been putting up about it. I joke with the snoring sound because it's Destiny 2, but some of the stuff they've been putting out looks genuinely interesting.
Yeah, and if you've wanted to try Destiny 2, it's basically Destiny 2 Year 1 and 2 for free.
Yep.
There's very little stuff in New Light that isn't there, and you can even play some stuff in Shadowkeep. Like you can wander around on the new destination, the moon, and you can do some activities there. So, if you want to try Destiny 2, it's in a really good spot, and it's free, like actually free. So, and if you want to play it, I have it on all 3 platforms, so hit me up. I will definitely play it with you.
I'm missing some achievements from that game.
I will 100% play it with you. I would kill to play Destiny 2 with you, Moon. Starting on Tuesday. One Night Stand comes out, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. This is one of those games we talked about during E3. It's the visual novel with that really cool art style where, like, you wake up after a one-night stand and you're sort of talking to the person you had slept with.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really cool, and I'm hoping it's going to be a pretty cool. I unfortunately had forgotten about it.
What platforms did you say?
PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Check out the Switch publisher for me.
Okay, I'll do that while we're talking about news stories here.
Okay.
I don't believe it's on our blacklist. Ghostbusters, the video game remastered, comes out PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. That was a good game when it came out.
That's an amazing game.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if it still holds up.
It's one of my favorite video games ever, and it's one of the best licensed games ever. It's Gears of War in the Ghostbusters universe.
Yes.
Written by the Ghostbusters writers, starring the Ghostbusters themselves, and it's like a greatest hits of Ghostbusters BS. It's ridiculously entertaining in places.
Yep. And you can hear what's-his-face totally sleep through his role.
Yep, Bill Murray.
Was it Bill Murray?
It's really great. Yeah. And lastly, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint comes out PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Is this the starring the Punisher one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Starring John Barenthal.
Yes, John Menthol. Yes. That's right.
That's the...
and Bam Bam the dog.
Yes, that's that one.
Yeah. What's the other Tom Clancy one?
I need to go play Wildlands at some point.
Yeah.
The other one you're thinking of is probably Rescue or something, which is based on Siege's engine.
That's the escaping one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it's like teams of 3.
That one looks cool.
What happened to multiplayer games? It used to be 1, 8, 16, 32, and 64.
Right.
Now it's 1, 3, 4, 5,
100.
6, 12.
Right. 100 people drop on an island, yeah. I think the 3-person one is popular because we have families and jobs.
True.
So getting like 8 people together for one squad is...
But that's the messed up thing, because every game where it's a 3-man squad, I always have a 4th person.
Right, you have 2 or 4.
Anytime it's a 4-man squad, I've got 3.
Yep.
Right, exactly. Let's move on to news stories. Google has announced the Google Play Pass. This is for the Android OS, $5 a month, or $2 a month if you sign up for a whole year. 2-week free trial, 350 games and apps. So they're launching at the same time what Apple Arcade is, except way more stuff and includes apps, which seems like a really great deal. All games and apps have their ads and IAP disabled, their in-app purchases disabled. It's releasing starting this week in the US on a rolling basis, so it will sort of show up in the store for people as it rolls out. Mm-hmm. Some games that have been revealed: Stardew Valley, Star Wars KOTOR, Limbo, Mini Metro, which is really good, and Hidden Folks, which is really good. And some apps they revealed: AccuWeather and Pick Stitch. This sounds like a really great deal. And this makes me wish Apple Arcade had apps in it as well.
Yeah. Oh, I need to stay away from it. My phone battery life is killed by the one game I play, and I have the battery version of the phone where it's like the big fat battery.
Right.
So I'm okay for now. Thank you.
Yeah. I to me the big thing is the number of apps, and it seems like from what they're saying, none of these games or apps are exclusive to Play Pass, which I think is really smart.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they just have apps in there, because it's like, hey man, you want this one photo editing app that everyone seems to love? Cool, you get that and 350 other things for $5. Like,
yeah,
and it doesn't have ads, it doesn't have in-app purchases. I think that's really smart. I think that's taking what Apple was talking about for a really long time with Apple Arcade and just saying, cool, let's just do everything though.
Yeah.
So that's pretty smart. Sony had a state of play. I know a lot of people like to poo-poo their state of play, but they're getting better, just as Nintendo's and Microsoft's did. They're getting there. They showed off Enhanced Games' new game, Humanity, which I don't understand what it is at all. It just looks like a fluid people simulator, and then all of a sudden they were shooting each other. So
okay,
that's coming in 2020, and I like Enhanced Games a lot, so I will put that.
Humanity.
Res and Tetris Effect. So they're making another game that isn't Res or Tetris, and it's sort of like, all right, cool, yeah, I'll check that out. They showed off some Call of Duty Modern Warfare stuff. I know there's like a lot of hullabaloo about whatever. God, the facial animations in that are insane.
Dude, the facials in Call of Duty have been insane for a while. Go watch Kevin Spacey perform in
that's true.
3 games ago.
Yeah, but like Soap is in there, and he looks all crazy. Like there's some interesting stuff in there.
Does he have a clean face?
No, it's like the goatee, the up and around.
His name is Soap.
Yeah.
You'll find in the military that sometimes nicknames are more mocking than they are accurate. His name is Soap, which means he probably needs soap.
Gotcha.
Not that he's clean.
Okay.
I see. Okay. I'm picking it up. They showed off Watam, which I previously thought was called Watam. This is the Katamari guy's new game. I don't know what this is. I still don't know what this is after watching a 2-minute trailer. But that's another one where it's like, cool, you're putting out a new game? I'll check that out.
Looks just crazy enough to work.
Yeah.
Is it just me or auteurs, to use that phrase lightly?
Mm-hmm.
When they break away from the company they work with and make their own game, they seem insane.
Yeah, and
We've got the stupid guy who used to do Gears, who went off to make his stupid hero-based anti-gravity shoot-'em-up thing.
Yeah, what was that called?
Exactly.
I think I remember the second game they made at the very last minute, like Highland Heights or something.
Something like that,
but
yeah.
I don't remember. Gravity... I don't remember.
Whatever.
Gravity Chasers? I don't know.
Then you've got Death Stranding, a game written, starring, produced, developed, coded, and everything by Hideo Kojima.
That was a translation error, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
The original tweet, thankfully they came out, and the original tweet was like, he helped on all that stuff, but he definitely he wrote back again to say like, I wouldn't have been able to do it without all of this team, which is great.
Okay, but go look at the credits on any of the Metal Gear Solid games and count how many times his name shows up.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's like him and Yu Suzuki. It's like those two dudes. Yeah. They showed off Arise, A Simple Story. It starts with like a Viking funeral pyre, and then it almost looks like it's a make your way to Valhalla sort of action adventure game. It has a really cool art style. I'm hoping they can get that out in front of more people, because that looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
L.A. Noire, the VR Case Files is out now on PSVR, which was not
thank you.
A thing I thought it was out on everything like a year ago. Civilization 6 comes out to PS4 on November 22nd, which for me is a no thank you, because I would like to play other things.
Yep, it also comes out on Xbox.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yep, it's not an exclusive. They just show that they had the world exclusive
Yeah,
trailer.
world first. I believe this is already on Switch, right?
Civ 5 is out on Switch.
Oh, okay, cool.
Civ 5 is the one that's voiced by Sean Bean.
Yes.
Civ 5 is the one that's on Switch.
Gotcha. Okay. They showed off the Death Stranding limited edition console, which I normally wouldn't talk about because it's like a white console and has the black handprints on it. But the controller is see-through baby jar orange, which is really great. I just want that controller. I could use a new Pro because thankfully every PlayStation console that enters this house has a disk drive problem. So I need a new PS4, but I'm not going to pay the price for it. But yeah, that
12 months, dude. 12 months is all you got.
I know. This console has to last 12 months. And the last thing they showed was The Last of Us 2 coming out on February 21st, 2020. I still have a big problem with The Last of Us 2's level of violence.
And I have no connection to The Last of Us in any way, shape, or form. Pretty sure I have it downstairs waiting to be played. The first one, not the second one.
I just never really got into it.
First Last of Us is a game I did not enjoy. I genuinely think it's a game that has fantastic storytelling, but the gameplay I thought was real bad.
Well, you're not a fan of like super duper ultra violence.
See, the thing for me that I is different because I'm sure somebody at home is being like, "Why are you so excited for Doom Eternal?" Though, and I think that's a great point because Doom Eternal is nobody's real there though. Like I'm splitting demons in half in this like nightmare New York hellscape. Like
yes, whereas the setting for The Last of Us is probably about 2 days away at any given point.
Right, and the level of violence that they continue to show in those trailers feels mean-spirited. It doesn't feel like there's any point to it. It just feels like it's violent to be violent. And
like Walking Dead levels of violence.
Yeah, and that's sort of where I have a hard time with it. And I think the more they show of The Last of Us 2, the more that it's sort of, I'm like, this still just does not seem like a game that I'm interested in at all. So I think that's a real bummer because I like to get excited about platform exclusives, but I would much rather play Gears 5 again because Gears 5 is an incredibly outstanding title.
Hold the phone.
Yeah.
What weird alternate dimension did we slip into?
Gears 5 is so good though. God, we need to play Gears 5, Moon, by the way.
Okay. It's installed, it's ready to go.
Before
I just
top
need
10.
to actually start it. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to be Jack, that's all it is. I know, you just want to be Jack.
Beep up boop. Yep. Microsoft did their own Inside Xbox. This one was a lot of trailers and a lot of sort of stuff we've already seen sort of recently, and a lot of stuff that just recently got release dates. The big announcement they had was that they have opened applications for the beta for Project xCloud. The public preview will happen sometime in October. The big note is you have to have an Android phone to apply for this. You can't use an iPhone. So it sounds like they'll be sporting that after release, but understandably it's a lot harder to get packages on iOS than it is on Android. So
Microsoft did the ultimate enclosed market things on PC are only doing something on an open platform on phones.
It's weird. And if anyone doesn't remember what Project xCloud is, it's basically a remote play, but because it's been developed sometime in the last 5 years, it'll probably be a much smoother experience, I'm hoping. Remote play is fine, but it's like 5 or 6 years old at this point if you don't count the PS3 version. So, and they'll use the power of the Azure cloud. Wait for that marketing to happen. Next news story: Microsoft's Game of the Gold for October includes Bolt, and Moon wanted me to talk about this because Bolt is a great game.
Disney's Bolt is probably one of the best character action games that you can get out there.
Yep.
I am an achievement hound. I almost phrased that slightly differently, which would have been bleeped from the show.
Right.
I like my achievements. At one
Yes.
point, I had a rental service where I would get all of the licensed garbage and just knob it all up,
Yep.
spit out my 1,000
Plus
gamer
1,000.
score, and then send it back and get my next licensed garbage.
Yep.
Disney's Bolt is a surprisingly good character action game. If you have young people in your life and you want to see how they handle character action games and potentially get them into a new type of genre, especially if they're a fan of the movie,
Yep.
give it a go. It has some garbage platforming sections in it, but the Bolt sections are pretty good.
That's available October 1st through the 15th, and if they really like that and they want another character action game, Ninja Gaiden 3 Sigma is available on the second half of that month.
Perfect. That's the perfect step up. Disney's Bolt, Ninja Gaiden 3. Perfect.
Yep. And Tembo the Badass Elephant is on Xbox One and for the entirety of October, and the second half of October is Friday the 13th, the game.
Mm-hmm.
So go check that stuff out. Logitech purchases Streamlabs for $89 million. You might not know who Streamlabs is, although if you watch Twitch, you have probably watched something they've done. They are a company that has created Streamlabs OBS. It's not OBS and it's not OBS Studio. It's a different piece of software. Yay, open source.
Yeah. OBS is the
I've played with it for a little bit.
one.
Hold on, both of you were talking at the same time. Go
Sorry.
ahead, Moon.
OBS is the old open source one. Streamlabs is the not open source one.
It's also open source, but what it does is OBS has been deprecated and replaced by OBS Studio. What Streamlabs OBS does is it takes that core OBS streaming software and then it puts all the other stuff a streamer might need all in one program, like being able to take tips and display that on stream, being able to do like pre and post layouts for your stream, and they have like 250 free themes to theme your stream around it. You got all the pop-ups and the trains and all that stuff, like all the stuff that a Twitch streamer might need to sort of stay competitive. That's all presented just in this software all at once. Streamlabs claims that 70% of Twitch streamers currently use the software.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Which is an incredible number. So I think all of that together makes sense why a company like Logitech would want to purchase this software. It seems like $90 million is probably pretty cheap if that 70% number at least stays where it is.
Not to mention all of that human information that you've got from every single person who've ever signed up for that service, which, let me tell you, is a lot of people.
Well, the fun thing is you don't sign up for Streamlabs OBS. You just feed all your Twitch stuff into that like all the other ones. So
But if you want to use any of their templates and stuff like that, you have to have a Streamlabs OBS account.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you buy companies nowadays, is to get the users. Yep. So, yeah. So that's cool. Nice to see an interesting purchase like that. And last but not least, one of the strangest news stories this year, the developer of the Sherlock Holmes games, Frogwares, is claiming that its publisher, Focus Home Interactive, has been pulling all of their games off of marketplaces after the agreement between Frogwares and Focus Home ended, which normally wouldn't be out of the realm of believability, because it's like, all right, our contract is done, like we're gonna do all our handoff stuff. The problem is Focus Home Interactive refuses to return the Sherlock Holmes IP and, most importantly, the title IDs over to Frogwares. Which...
it means that Frogware basically cannot use those things that are already on the store.
Their own games.
Yes, they cannot claim that they are theirs. They cannot take any profits or anything like that. They can't sell them on their own behalf because essentially somebody else owns that quote-unquote license to that game that's uploaded.
Right. And that's across everything. Like all of the, as of today, all of their games are off of 360, Xbox One, PS3, and PS4, and any day now they could disappear off Steam.
Yep.
So that's really weird. This is not a usual thing where it's like, all right, like in the case of Downwell, we're talking about that in what you've been playing. The developer says, my publishing license has ended. It's just happening with Bastion as well. My publishing license has ended with a publisher. Due to some technical issues, we have to pull down the original version and put up a new version. So it's going to be free on the store for a couple of weeks, because we don't want you guys to buy a new copy. That's usually what you see in sort of title ID transfers, but it's very odd for a publisher to just say, yeah, well, our contract is over, so we changed the locks. See ya.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
I hope this gets cleared up quick.
Yeah.
And I hope people in positions who can help focus, help them. Yeah. Because they're not exactly a big studio, and as much as we...
Or Frogwares, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
As much as I may have made fun of those games, they are unique in a very special way. Mm-hmm. And people keep complaining about, oh, the B game has vanished. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Sherlock Holmes games.
Yep. There's like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, in 2011 it was Sherlock Holmes 6, and there's been like 3 more since then, so there's like 9 in total.
Perfect. Yeah. Hopefully they come back. That'd be nice. Let's wrap up the show with a question from T-Bomb Rocks in Discord. Says, I was talking to a friend about remakes of games and we came to a conclusion. Would you want a complete remake of 2 to 3 entries of a series into one game? Take Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 1 remake, make them into one game. If so, what series would you like to see this happen in?
Parasite Eve 1 and 2.
Oh, you stole it, you son of a...
The only 2 Parasite Eve games. They never made a third.
I would want to play the third one just because it's supposedly hot trash, but I would want to see that myself.
I have the third one on the shelf behind me.
Maybe this is their opportunity to kind of untrashify it.
Yeah. Give it the old Final Fantasy VII remake go.
Did you see that box art this week, by the way?
Yeah.
That's I got a problem with that box art. I'm on the side of Jason Schreier. It just says Final Fantasy VII remake. It does not say part 1.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a problem.
Yep.
When people 100%. Get to leave Midgar and they go, all right, now we're really getting to the credits?
Yep.
What the... Yeah.
Honestly, I like it just because it does pay homage to the game.
Yeah, I mean, it is
whether it says
the Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
So now he's Materia in the Cloudbuster.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the Hannah in Discord came up with the one that is the best one, which is Mass Effect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's just talk about the packaging really quick. I am not interested in one game. Like, let's take the Mass Effect series. Like, that is the perfect example. Mm-hmm. I don't want one game with all 3 games in it. I want one package with 3 installers in it.
You don't want a 120-hour Mass Effect game?
I don't want a 500 gigabyte Mass Effect trilogy all installed at once.
Can we also say, how has the Mass Effect trilogy not been remastered at this point? It seems like there has to be some licensing holdup with Mass Effect 1 that it still has not... This seems like the most obvious cash grab.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mass Effect 1, it was partnered with Microsoft.
Yeah, and I think Microsoft co-published and co-financed it.
Yeah, it was done with them, but it was also done under the EA partners. It wasn't done under EA, it was done under EA partners at the time, because that was before EA picked up BioWare.
And I think that's probably the same for the first Dragon Age game too, I bet.
Yep, and the first Dead Space game too.
Yeah. Yeah, because it seems like
EA at that time were really good.
I mean, those all seem like really great packages to come up where it's like, all right, here's 3 Dragon Age games, and here's 3 Mass Effect, and here's all the Dead Space games. Like, those seem like guaranteed sellers, and there has to be some inescapable licensing thing that they just can't get over.
Oh, I think I know what it is, and I have shifted my opinion on EA as they seem to have shifted their opinion towards the consumers. Mm-hmm. And my opinion with EA is they're not interested because, yeah, you might sell a bajillion copies of them, but at the end of the day, they don't have Mass Effect Ultimate cards that you can sell in packages with microtransactions.
I mean, maybe you can put them in the remake.
Mass Effect 3 did, because it had the multiplayer thing, which was card packs that you can buy.
Mass Effect 3's multiplayer was so good.
It was great.
Oh
I
man.
never spent a penny on it. My wife spent like $120, I think, on it.
Right. But not any extra pennies.
But that's what I think. That's why they see that red line and that black line, and that black line only goes a little bit above the red line, and they're not interested.
And the FIFA line is about 3 million miles above that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you look at it. Okay, so Mass Effect by itself. The first game was done in Unreal, I think.
I believe so.
I think the second one. I think the first one was Unreal 2. I think the second one was Unreal 2.5, and I think the third one was Unreal 3.
I believe so.
3 different engines, 3 different set of textures, but 3 different control schemes and gameplay types, and that's a lot of work to bring that up. Give it to Dave Lang.
Well, and it's the weird thing because it's like, I feel like you could even just do what the and I'm not saying this is easy. You could even do what the Yakuza games have done, where it's like, cool, frame rate's better, upscaled it to 1080p. Here it's in a package. I feel like with Mass Effect, the first 3 Mass Effect games, that's kind of all you would need to do, because people will be like, I get to play Mass Effect on the Switch, yeah! You know, like...
I think the problem you're looking at there is everybody has golden memories for Mass Effect.
Oh, I'm not saying that playing it would be a great experience.
Andromeda is a really good game that was hampered by its title.
And hampered by people misunderstanding an early version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas... as much as I hate to say this, I think if you've never played it, sure, go back and play them. You will understand the age difference.
Yeah.
But if you've played them and you have that rose tint in the glasses, and okay, let me correct that. It's not so much a rose tint as it is just a rose visor all over your face, like your Cyclops. Like, if you have that Cyclops vision towards the Mass Effect series, I don't think you can go back. Well, and I think if you try, I think that's a 1-star review and social media outcry about how terrible the Mass Effect release is.
Make no mistake, Mass Effect 1 wasn't super well received for gameplay or UI or like its story was really great and voice acting and all that stuff was really great. A lot of the rest of the game got rightfully dumped on because it was just, I mean, that's the start of the loading screen elevators where it's like, oh, cool, this isn't really an elevator. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, no, it is an elevator.
Yeah. It's just going to go forever.
It just never ends.
It's just, have you seen the size of the Citadel?
That's true. Yeah, Citadel is very big. God, what else would you
BioShock?
do?
No. As much as I love those games, I don't want to see them remade.
Which ones?
BioShock.
Yeah. I feel like we got the little tweak when it came out on PS4 and Xbox One, and I think that's about all.
Did they already re-release them?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
I think they basically just put them in 1080p 60 frames.
Yeah, they did the bare minimum. It was like texture file increase, frame rate increase, save, release, sell.
Yep, that's software development.
Yep.
I still would really like to see, and it's going to sound a little weird, I'd like to see Square Enix put out like a premium package about the history of the Final Fantasy series, like 1 to 15, excluding 11 and 14. Like, in one, like, really big premium historic package, like, sort of celebrating the series history, and let it be, especially with new consoles really being forward compatible, as they're saying they're trying to be, it would be really great to have that one big history of Final Fantasy package where you can play the entire series in this one thing that sort of celebrates the history of it. And Dragon Quest 2, for that matter.
Yeah. Give me the weird Japanese games for the Saturn, the Dreamcast, even the PlayStation weird Japanese games. Just give me re-releases of all of those bonkers games, because some of them were just insane.
Yeah, like a Weird Stuff Classic collection.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else that's really... I feel like we've gotten a lot of that stuff this generation.
Jet Set Radio? I don't know how much each of them hold up.
That came out... Well, maybe the first Jet Set didn't come out... That came out on PC, but I don't think it came out to consoles.
No, and I want to see Future because I love
Future did come out. Future's playable on Xbox One.
I think it's backwards compatible, but I don't think
right.
it's been up-resed.
Yeah, it was the 360 version. That's right. Future's great. I like Future.
360 version? I think you mean the original Xbox version.
No, maybe. I thought they put it out on 360 and they up-resed it and fixed the bugs.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't remember. Jet Set Radio Future's great. People poop talk it for no good reason.
Because it was on the Xbox and it was a Japanese game. That's literally it.
I think they thought it was worse than the original, but I think both are good for different reasons.
Yeah, people poop talk that, but Cell Damage still gets all the love, doesn't it?
Xbox One hit game, Cell Damage. I want the Cell Damage
came
collection.
Out on Switch. It's on sale on Switch right now, I think.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
Everything lands on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I think just for poops and giggles, I would want Xenosaga.
Yeah.
Just because people think that the Metal Gear series has long movie times, those games were movies. It's a JRPG of 10 minutes of gameplay and literally, no joke, an hour-long movie, and then about 20 hours of gameplay.
The second one has a 90-minute cutscene that has a save in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's the video game equivalent of like when PS1 games were coming out and they were like 3 and 4 discs and they had like 20 minutes of cutscenes. Like that was the big selling point. Like that
sticker is on the Final Fantasy VIII original box art in the UK.
Discs.
It's like
20 hours of cutscenes,
3 hours of FMV. It's like,
you know what people still don't give Final Fantasy enough credit for though is interactive cutscenes though, where you're still moving your character around while a big FMV is playing. Like, so God, Final Fantasy.
Oh, you mean like the walking scenes of Gears of War?
Talk to me, Anya. So good. All right, that's our episode this week. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us on the right-hand side of the page. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. $5 a month tier is where you get everything. And boy, all of that stuff is real good. You should listen to the brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks that just came out. There will be an outtake from that in this week's Outcast.
You've said it now you have to do it.
It's already in the folder. It's going in there. That'll include ODNF and TVGP. Our latest game club game is Grow Home. We're playing that for the next 15 weeks until the next month rolls around.
It's 4 weeks away, I think.
It's just so long. Please listen to We Roguelike It. Our roguelike show, where if you're a patron, we've just started a brand new game. If you're not, we're still talking about Dungreed. And once we're finished with the game after 4 weeks, science happens, and we rate it in the internet's rock solid, set in stone best roguelikes list of all time.
It's the only podcast that talks about roguelikes. It's the only roguelike content you'll ever find on the internet.
That's right.
And it's the only scientists dealing specifically with roguelikes that exists.
That's right. We are front runners, trendsetters, and the like. That's We Roguelike It. You should go listen to it. And I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week.
Ciao.
Bye.
All right, Nimp, hit me with your titles.
All right, I have Moonpier's hard drive is full update. If My Chicken Wound 1. Hopping Zombies. Just Stop. Choo Choo Train to 110, or 110, however you want to say it. Best Style. They Go Downwell.
Wait, you gotta pronounce Best Style correctly.
No, I don't. Best
Style.
Because I'm not the one who does it, so you're going to have to.
Okay.
Yep.
Alt F4. Toy With Your Prey. My favorite, Shirtless Hasselhoff. and shoot the pipe.
That sounds like a metaphor for something real.
Yeah. Moonpier, how about you?
It's all about the feels. Back to the chicken fights. Choo Choo Train to 110. Farming the Noob, which probably gets my voice. My vote. Blood into the Pig. Douse the World in Salt. A Lot of Feelings. Gotcha Games Poison My Brain. Get into the credits.
What was your one about the pig?
Blood into the Pig.
Blood into the Pig. God, that's such a good metal album name.
Yeah, it's a good metal band name.
Yeah, God, that's so good. Alright, I have uninstalled, because I just like you saying, uninstalled. Couch Chairs, Game Pass or Fail, which, disappointed that neither one of you wrote that down. Choo Choo Train to 110, Farming the Noobs, and Blood into the Pig.
I thought we did a Game Pass one a while ago.
We probably did.
Probably. Let me look it up.
I don't know if it won, but I know I marked one down at one point.
I like Choo Choo Train to 110. I think that's one of my personal frontrunners. I know, Moon, you liked Farming the Noobs.
Yeah, Choo Choo Train to 110 and Farming the Noob. The Noobs.
Noobs.
I'll go with Choo Choo Train as well. This is the only one we agree on. Shirtless Hasselhoff cannot be contained.
No, we're playing with fire there. Episode 578 is titled Game Passers.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's still not going to win, but I vote for Choo Choo Train to 110. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Hold on, I gotta...
Yeah, time some people out.
Ban someone.
I've got a primary one and a backup.
Okay.
Depending on what Moon does.
I've got one thing in my head and that's it. And it's what you would expect.
It's really shiny. I polish it every day.
Don't let them body shame you.
I'm not worried about it.
They're on Mixer.
Almost like you're not aware.
Yeah, see, the thing you guys don't get is when I woke up today, before the podcast, I shaved my head.
There you go.
That's why it's super shiny.
Yeah.
A little bit of polish.
Presentable.
Yeah. I shaved this week because it scared Moonpier last week that I didn't shave.
Right, it did. I was terrified last week. I was like, what's going on? There's like this alternate dimension serial killer version of you in the chat.
I was so caught off guard last time.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, starting in 3. Let me bring my notebook over here. 2, 1. This is That Video Game episode.
It's been a while.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Take 2. 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast episode 623 for September 30th, 2019. Choo Choo Train to 110.
All aboard!
The pain trains are coming! Woo woo! Oh darn! I did spike it too. I was trying not to.
Don't worry. So did I.
Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.